Welcome to the 12th episode of the Other Star franchise, the anti-fascist Star Wars podcast, where a couple of Trekkies from the Star Trek fandom discuss Star Wars. We are currently watching a lot of the Star Wars shows, movies, and animation in chronological order, leading up to the release of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie later this year. We are tonight going to discuss episodes of The Clone Wars, all of which take place in the years 20 BBY, and I'm happy to say 19 BBY. We finally made it. So, Taylor, are you as excited as I am to finally be in? This is a big-ass year, 19 BBY. Yeah. A lot of shit happens. So.
Yes.
But the year that the Clone Wars will end. So we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We are near the end of this war. It's been a hell of a journey, though. So it's also been a lot of fun to document the episodes that we have already watched, as well as what we're planning to watch next on our spreadsheet. So anyone who is watching a video format of this, you'll be able to see on screen. But our spreadsheet showing all of the episodes of various Star Wars shows and movies, whatnot, that we've been watching. But for what we're talking about today, we are picking up in Season 5 at Episode 10. And then we're going to finish all Season 5. We're actually going to circle back to Season 5, Episode 1, Revival, that we had skipped previously, because we're doing this in chronological order. But then finish Season 5. That means we've covered the episodes that actually aired on Cartoon Network. And we're going to dip our toes into the Netflix stuff. The Season 6 episodes. Taylor, I don't know, you watched all of Clone Wars originally, on Netflix.
Yeah, I guess so.
And, all 6 seasons are, always there, so you didn't have to, wait for this.
Yeah, that's true.
That's interesting. I was in a similar boat. I attempted to watch the shows on Cartoon Network a couple of times, and ended up not sticking with it. However, when I did finally get around to watching the entire thing, yeah, all 6 seasons were already there on Netflix. And I guess it was still several more years before the Season 7 stuff. But
yeah, I was a very lucky person, and I never had to wait for any of it because I was so late to the show.
Well, you had to wait on Season 7.
No, it was already out when I watched it.
Really? Season 7?
Yeah.
All of that?
Yeah.
Because that didn't come out till
My first new Star Wars was Bad Batch. I had watched everything, and then, as soon as I was super caught up in the Clone Wars and Rebels and all that, Bad Batch released. It was a year after I started really getting into animated stuff that the Bad Batch came out.
Okay, well, going back to the people who would have been watching this at the time, I guess Season 5 of The Clone Wars was on Cartoon Network in the fall of 2012, and then the spring of 2013. I remember November of 2012 very well, because that's when the news came that Disney was purchasing Star Wars, and the news that they would be canceling Clone Wars, went off Cartoon Network after that season wrapped, and then the rest of the episodes that they had already had done some production on just got released on Netflix. They billed that Season 6, those 13 episodes are called The Lost Missions. But before we get into that, just starting off with the first episode, we're going to talk about Secret Weapons. This arc, I guess Secret Weapons, A Sunny Day in the Void, Missing in Action, and then Point of No Return. Season 5, episodes 10 through 13. The final arc of dumb droid bullshit nonsense. These were not fun episodes to watch, but after that we're going to talk about some really good stuff, Maul taking over Mandalore.
Right.
We're going to talk about Ahsoka being expelled from the Jedi Order and put on trial.
Sad.
And we're going to talk about the Order 66 conspiracy almost being exposed. But the beginning of that, so this first dumb droid arc, Colonel Gasson and his droids, D-Squad. How are we going to talk about this, Taylor? Should we just talk about like all four at once?
Yeah, I wanted to go through this one as quickly as possible. So I think we should read all four and talk about all four as one group.
Okay. Well, what was the summary for Secret Weapons?
R2-D2 is part of a team of Republic droids chosen for an important mission led by the diminutive Colonel Meber Gascon to obtain an encryption module from a separatist dreadnought. The droids must overcome numerous challenging obstacles to succeed in this crucial assignment.
Yeah, so this little frog man, he's like a frog slug, kind of. He's like a frog with like slug eyes. But he leads a group of droids, including R2-D2, onto a separatist ship to steal the code for the encryption. And the moral of the episode was humility is the only defense against humiliation. So I guess be humble and you can never be humiliated. Was that like was Gasson this little short guy, like he needed to be humble? He was humbled.
I don't really know.
Okay. So that moral may or may not have...
It's like, is he supposed to feel humiliated? I don't think so. Just because he's a little tiny little colonel? I don't know.
Well, tell us the summary of the next episode, A Sunny Day in the Void, after they make their escape with the encryption code.
Wow, spoilers. After their ship crashes on a desolate planet, D-Squad and Colonel Gascon must find a way off to get back to Coruscant or be stranded forever.
Yeah, so they spend a lot of time wandering through a white, empty, void planet. And the moral is, when all seems hopeless, a true hero gives hope. But then eventually they find a town on this planet. And we get the episode Missing in Action.
Colonel Gascon and D-Squad discover that Abafar, the planet they are trapped on, is separatist-controlled. But they also discover a Republic clone commando named Gregor, who has been stranded on the planet as well. They must work together to get off the planet. Safely.
Sorry, I'm messing with our screens a little bit. When they find this commando dude who has lost his memory and he's working as a dishwasher, but the moral of the episode is a soldier's most powerful weapon is courage. Mm-hmm. And that was, I guess, my favorite episode of the arc.
Agree.
Because I really like commandos. Yeah. Well, I love clones, but I love like clone commandos. They're like my favorite type of clones.
My problem is I like droids too. I just don't like goofy droid stories.
You want them to be battle droids being shot to death by clones.
No.
Oh, but the fourth episode in this arc, after they make their way back, point of no return.
After believing themselves safe, Colonel Gascon and D-Squad discovered that they are prisoners of the Separatists in a captured Republic cruiser, finding themselves enmeshed in thwarting a plot to destroy a Republic space station holding a strategic conference.
And the moral of the episode is you must trust in others or success is impossible. So teamwork makes the dream work.
I guess so. This is such a weird arc. Like, we literally start with, like, going to get an encryption code and end with there's this massive ship that was taken over and we've found ourselves here accidentally and now we have to, like, get this ship to not explode.
So
it's a lot.
But the only episode in this that I think like I just flat out like hate and it kind of tanks the whole thing.
A Sunny Day in the Void.
A Sunny Day in the Void.
It is extra. I think that this arc should have been 3 episodes and they should have cut that one.
Okay, I learned something about that episode today though that I'm so happy to tell you. It is George Lucas's favorite episode of the Clone Wars. It's A Sunny Day in the Void.
Oh, Well, he's weird, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
It's like he made this entire show, and it was all worth it to him to have, like, that episode.
I think you told me this was the least watched episode.
No, that was some other dumb droid bullshit. The one that had 3PO in it.
Oh, that's right. That was last
I'm sure Anthony Daniels felt real good about that.
Yeah,
I voiced an episode, and it's the least watched one ever.
The one thing I thought Colonel Gascon was obnoxious, and...
Yeah, he's so... Like, they want it to be stupid on purpose, though. Like, the way that, like, they were like, okay, here's the Colonel, and it's like a shot of the doors, and then the doors open, and you don't see anyone, and because he's so short, like, the camera has to, like, pan down, and, like, there he is.
It just seems a little silly. Like, I mean...
Yeah, it's, like, intentionally silly.
I know it's intentionally silly, but I mean that I think... Like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, you're saying
it's silly like it doesn't work. It's not silly like, haha.
Yeah, you're like, hey, George, I get you're doing it on purpose, but that doesn't help.
Like,
that might make it worse. Yeah,
like,
I'm still not laughing.
Yeah, a lot of the, like, short jokes and, like... What is
We had to be humbled.
No.
That's the only way to be above humiliation.
He already was short before he needed to be humbled. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I really liked Gascon's high kicks. I called him a rocket while we were watching it. I was like, wow, they really borrowed a lot from the Rockettes in this episode. He's marching with his legs all high kicking.
He's very martial. Yeah, he's trying to,
establish dominance over 4 droids who are programmed to follow his orders. Okay.
We're forgetting Whack 47.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The one that was a little bit
Whack?
I was gonna say insubordinate, but yeah.
The one who was, like, really annoying and wouldn't shut up.
Yeah, well, they couldn't just have beep, beep, boop, boops and only Gascon talking. They had to have another droid that talked. They had to have a C-3PO.
They made, like, a really big deal out of the Darth Maul is back episodes, like, having, like, the red
font of
logo. Yeah. Like, doing the show logo, the Clone Wars, in red. And it's like, this is like George Lucas being like, this dumb droid shit is just as important. We're going to change the color of the logo for 2 things. For Maul and for... Droid nonsense. So
light blue Clone Wars.
It looks good. They should have done that more often, just to match the tone of whatever story.
It would have been kind of cool to do each arc as its own color.
Yeah.
Like, forever.
Yeah, whatever color would, like, best apply.
The color of the week. Well, I guess of the month, technically.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously Maul would be red, because he's red.
Duh.
But
why was it blue? Because R2 is blue?
I suppose, yeah. Not a lot of other blue. There is a pink droid, though, with
oh, I did like that. They had every single color. There was a pink, and a red, and a green, and R2 is blue, and then there was a purple one, I think, too.
I'll say this...
Or purplish. Maybe it was Whack that had purple... No, he had orange. Never mind. But it was a full rainbow of droids. I liked that a lot.
The pink one, I think, is named...
Pinky.
Well, Cutie.
Yeah.
Q...
T.
QT...
Quick
KT.
Quick Trip.
But it's like Cutie Katie.
Aww. Like Katie Lucas?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
That's so cute. If he was like, oh, my cutie Katie.
Here's a R2 unit for my daughter.
Yeah. Who also works on the show.
Yeah, no wonder it's his favorite episode. A Sunny Day in the Void. But I guess, like, the one thing about that episode that I was thinking about today that, it has, like, that scene when they keep calling them birds, but, like, those creatures that, they look like
dinosaurs?
ostriches, but, like, they don't have, well, they can't say dinosaurs in Star Wars.
Like, that's not space raptor.
That's not a word in basic dinosaur. I don't think means anything to them. But yeah, whatever those ostrich creatures were. But yeah, they look like velociraptors or whatever those running dinosaurs were in Jurassic Park. I guess that's probably what they were based on. But just when Gaston learned, he's like all stressed out and everything. But he talks about like you droids, all you are is just like your programming. But you kind of get like that. He's thinking about like, oh, but I have all this training, but that's kind of like the same thing as programming. But then it doesn't help him like find his way. But then like he sees like these creatures and like I guess he's just like, well, they probably know where to run to. But he talks about like relying on like their instinct. It's like that, like we're all programmed. We're either programmed by by instinct or what
training or actual programming.
Or or like a droid having like the zeros and ones moved around in their software. So I don't know. I guess that is just kind of an interesting examination of consciousness. I guess maybe that's why George likes it so much. That and then all the cartoonish absurdity happening around it. Yeah. He's into that. Like he loves Goofy. Like he based Jar Jar Binks on like Disney's Goofy. Like he likes like the silly slapstick stuff.
Well,
our cat likes it too. Lady said meow. So she also is a fan of the silly cartoonish stuff.
Yeah, I really liked the droids in this. Like especially like the mech droids. I guess they're my favorite. I like their little beep boops.
And
like they work together and I don't know, unlock stuff.
That's like a old school Star Wars thing. It's like you called like R2-D2 an astromech, or like the droids that could plug into that socket on an X-wing.
Oh, you know what else I really enjoyed in this was like their like gear up scene whenever they are like on this spy mission and they take the droids to like the droid hospital and that crazy psycho octopus guy that looks
they look like a Vendorian from Star Trek the Animated Series.
Yeah, well, he's like psycho
a
crazy.
I think it's called like a Parwan or something like that in Star Wars.
But he's literally like, "Mwahahaha," and he's like trying to like, I don't know. He says like to the one droid like, "I'm gonna wipe your memory banks," and he's like weird about it.
Yeah, he has very mad scientist vibes, like the blue shadow virus Nazi guy.
Yeah, very, very similar.
Yeah, like, did they go to the same med school? Like,
yeah.
But was this guy a doctor? I don't know what he was. But
he was a mech.
But yeah, he was like, James Bond has Q, who like equips him with like, here's your spy gear for the episode. And like, yeah, he was like the Q of D Squad.
Yeah, but I thought it was fun to see them get their upgrades and stuff. Like R2 got new boosters. Rocket boosters or whatever.
That he'll never use again after Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, maybe he uses them in some canonical story, but yeah, just famously did not use them in the original trilogy. Let's talk about Gregor, though. They find this clone who's like working as a dishwasher in a diner, and they obviously recognize him. They're like, "Wait, you're a clone. You're supposed to be like a soldier fighting," and he has no memory. Mm-hmm. And so like this guy just basically like found this clone with amnesia and just like, I'm gonna make you my slave.
Yeah.
And just like, here, I'll provide you with like shelter and housing, and you'll provide me with free labor.
Yeah.
And be the dishwasher in my restaurant. Until these droids come along and ruin it. But eventually, like he does get his memories back, and like his sense of duty kicks in. But I love the clone commandos. I think like their armor just looks like really cool because I played the video game 20 years ago when I was 19. But when he is they find like those droids that are doing like the Rhydonium. They have like all this Rhydo, which is what Saul Guerrero gets high on in Andor. But there is like part of the Separatist plot, and he doesn't self-sacrifice, but I mean, guess he kind of does. But like, anyways, like he goes like fights all the droids and like blows up the Rhydo or whatever.
Yeah.
And they think that they might have lost him at the end. What is it? The Colonel says like, we'll keep a watch for your return or whatever.
Yeah.
We know in Rebels that eventually Gregor comes back and he's very cuckoo. His brain is cooked, but probably brain damage from the massive Rhydo explosions, all those fumes and stuff that drive Saul Guerrero crazy. And he had some brain damage at like the start of this arc with the amnesia and stuff after being lost in battle. Yeah, so. But when he has his clone armor on, he's got his helmet on, and he's kicking ass, he's shooting all these droids, blowing shit up, and they do this POV shot, and it looks like the HUD display from the video game, from Republic Command, which just especially stood out to me because I played that game recently because I was so excited for Clone Wars stuff when we started watching this. So that's the fun thing about Star Wars is if you're enjoying it, there's so much like supporting media. Like it's so easy to find like toys of things or like games that are adjacent to whatever you're watching or like comics or whatever. It kind of makes I'm much more a hardcore Star Trek fan. But I get kind of jealous. It's like, man, like the Star Wars fans really get catered to.
Yeah. Disney money.
Yeah. And also just like the
mass appeal.
Yeah, it appeals to more people, so they're gonna make more of the merch. But I would prefer Star Trek stick to its identity, regardless of if its appeal is to a broader audience or not. It should just always be Star Trek. I kind of feel that way about Star Wars too, but it's just going to be like this dumb commercial product for Disney shareholders for the rest of my life. So,
well, the last episode, they saved the day by basically getting that cruiser to not explode. They like strategically slow it down and then it explodes. But
it's scary when you see like that Republic Star Destroyer and it has all the it's being crewed by droids, but there's like holograms of clones on the bridge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it was going to be like a kamikaze ship, right?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Packed with Rhino. But yeah, it was kind of a cool space battle. A lot of like fun, colorful explosions. Like when the Rhino blows up, it's like a Mando backpack rocket. Like those things like really blow up colorfully.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how many people have like these like colorful, sparkly deaths in the Mandalore episode from those rocket explosions. But yeah. Anything else about like the space battle? Or
no, I think I'm more excited to talk about the next stuff.
Really? Okay.
Are we surprised?
So, done with the droid nonsense. Let's talk about Maul. So we finally circle back to Season 5, Episode 1, Revival, followed by Season 5, Episodes 14 through 16. Yeah, this is like a 4-episode... What would we call this? What do they call like all those other groups? Like the Shadow... Like, I don't... Like, what are they called? Like the different like crime agencies?
Oh, the syndicates?
Yeah, but isn't there like a...
There was a name in like
yeah, isn't it like Shadow something?
Oh, I thought it was like Dark Sky or Black Sun.
Oh, Black Sun, yeah, that's one of the groups. But like
that was so close.
But yeah, Season 5, Episode 1, Revival, if you want to... I feel like we should talk about this one
and then
by
the
itself.
Next 3?
Yeah, okay, so let's just talk about Revival.
Okay, Darth Maul and Savage Opress steal a fortune of Republic credits and bribe a squad of pirates to take down a pirate stronghold run by Hondo. Obi-Wan and Jedi Master Adi Gallia intervene, but Savage kills Adi. Hondo ambushes the pirates and wins their loyalty back, while Obi-Wan fights Savage and Maul and cuts off Savage's left arm. The brothers flee to their ship under fire from Hondo and the pirates, but are forced to board an escape pod when the ship is damaged. Obi-Wan returns to Coruscant, where the Chancellor informs him that the brothers are of no importance compared to the Separatists, and no further action should be taken against them.
And the moral of the episode is, strength of character can defeat strength in numbers.
Interesting. I feel like in this episode...
The numbers defeat the
numbers
character.
Defeat the character,
yeah, because it's like Darth Maul and his brother versus...
Run away! There's so many pirates.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's the two of us versus 2 Jedi and a shitload of pirates.
Yeah.
And the Jedi and pirates win.
Yeah.
And the Sith bros lose.
This was kind of an interesting turn. I wasn't really thinking of Maul teaming up with pirates. That wasn't really on my...
So, yeah, like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna strike out on his own... And all he's got is his brother. Mm-hmm. So he has an apprentice.
Isn't as strong as he wants him to be.
Yeah. But, like, Maul is, like... So Maul was, like, raised by Palpatine to be his apprentice. You know, all he knows is, like, this dynamic of, like, there is a master and there is an apprentice. Mm-hmm. And the apprentice has to be the servant of the master... And the apprentice is going to quest the power that the master has and, like, be driven to be like, I'm going to work for this guy because I need to learn how to be as powerful as him. And so, like, all he ever got to live was that apprentice experience. Mm-hmm. And then now he's been, like, replaced. He feels like he's the X, and now, like Dooku is, like the replacement, you know?
Right.
So he's like, okay, well now I'm going to be the master, and I'm going to treat you like my shitty apprentice to like take out my frustrations. It's almost kind of like, man, he's like abusing his brother because of his shitty ex.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's he gonna do? He's like, okay, I used to be the right hand man of the most powerful being in the galaxy, and I don't have that anymore. So I'm gonna have to start off on my own. I have my strength, but I don't have any resources. So I'm just gonna have to build up from the bottom, like starting like a gang. That kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, it's just really funny, and also small universe. We love you, Star Wars, but come on, Hondo's pirates. I'm obsessed with this though, just because I love Hondo and I love Maul, and I get to see them interact in this, and I love their little conference whenever Maul is like, "Bow down to me," like report to me, and Hondo's like, "Ha ha ha." No. Like, I love that call so much. Like, they're written so well and, like, witty, and, but yeah, I like that.
We were wondering about, like, Hondo, if he lost his flying saucer previously from when Dooku moved in on Florrum and attacked.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Hondo has, like, a whole fleet of those flying saucers. He has a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Because we see, like, his men crewing some saucers here, and Maul and the press are just like, yeah, we'll kill y'all if you don't want to work for us. And then they're like, I guess we'll work for you instead of Hondo.
And I like Hondo's response. He was like, am I mad at them? No, I'm proud of them. Like, whenever Maul was like, are you mad at your men? Like, don't you want to come fight us, you know? And he's like,
So I would totally like dismiss Hondo as like a shitty person in real life. I'd be like, oh yeah, he's like a bad guy. He like cheats people.
Yeah,
he kills
terrible.
people. Yeah, like I would have like no tolerance for him. As a fictional character, though, he's so lovable.
Lovable.
He is like, if you take Quark from Deep Space Nine and you combined him with Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, it would make Hondo.
Yeah, that's
and you would
exactly right.
have him be played by Danny Trejo.
Yeah, excellent.
Because he's this very earnest scoundrel. Like he's
run by prophets. Everything like every time he's like talking about prophets and stuff, and him like, that's such a Ferengi thing to say.
But there's just something so like genuinely earnest about him. Like I can't remember if I mentioned it, but when he was with the Jedi younglings before, and like he was like so amazed to just like, oh, can I just like what? Because he's just like this like
with the lightsaber building.
He's just like this curious guy who's like, I've seen a lot of cool shit in the galaxy, and like I want to see more cool shit. You know, it's like, oh, this is a remarkable thing to witness.
And he was great with kids.
And he's like, you know, like well traveled, and like he's kind of a deep person.
Yeah.
But then like he has like this moment with Obi-Wan Kenobi here when Obi-Wan's, and I forgot that this happened, but Savage kills Adi Gallia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
dude, also crazily with his horns.
Yeah.
He literally
horn stabs her
in the stomach.
And then finishes her with his saber.
Dude, it was brutal. And when she's like falling down, you can see like the holes in her stomach.
Because I thought she died in Revenge of the Sith. I thought she was the Jedi on the speeder bike, but I guess that was...
You're thinking of someone else.
That must be someone else. But yeah, a tragedy to see a Jedi slain in battle like that does not happen very often. So when Obi-Wan tells Hondo, like...
that she was killed.
And Hondo is like speechless for... He actually says, like, I'm semi-speechless. But like before he says that, the line is something like... You can see like the surprise in how he's... Or like you can hear it in his voice when he's like... They were too much even for you. Even for the Jedi, I'm semi-speechless. It's like, I don't know, it just felt like this very, like, real, genuine
like
thing.
He's got a big idea of who the Jedi are. Like, he respects them in some way when he says that. Like, he's like, wow, even...
And maybe that shows an example of what, like, a lot of people in the galaxy think. It's like, oh yeah, the Jedi have kept peace for 1,000 years. Like, they're invincible. You know, like, they've always been around, they're always going to be around. And that's just kind of what everyone thinks until the end of this war.
And he's also literally fought the Jedi before for things, and so he knows that it's not easy to get defeated, but that he's at least defeatable.
He has teamed up with them, and he has been at odds against... So he actually knows. He has first-hand experience of the Jedi capabilities.
How tough it can be,
it's like something like he thinks about a lot, like doing his crimes and whatnot. But yeah, so... Maul and Savage, they end up being too much for the pirates to handle, and their days as crime lords seem short-lived. but they flee and they are found in space, floating around with no power. And Maul all this time has had like his like weird ass, crazy looking robot legs. He finally gets like some more human looking legs in these episodes, and kind of, I don't know, he's easier for me to handle when I see him on screen. It was very jarring originally when I saw like Maul with spider legs and then with like the whatever the hell kind of grievous legs he has. Yeah. So, which is kind of interesting to see him like, you know, running from all the pirates with like his robot legs, and, like fighting them with those and stuff. But I like it more when we get to this Mandalorian stuff. He's more normal looking, I guess. But yeah, so what do we have? The next 3 episodes, we're going to talk about Season 5 episodes 14 through 16. So starting with Eminence.
Darth Maul and Savage Opress form an alliance with the Mandalorian terrorist group Death Watch and several crime syndicates, including the Black Sun, the Pike Syndicate, and the Hutt Cartel, in order to take over Mandalore and defeat Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And the moral is one vision can have many interpretations. And yeah, that's very true. I don't know if that necessarily applies to this story. But yeah, the Mandalorians that find them are it's Pre Vizsla, right? I get the
it's
okay.
Pre.
Yeah, Pav Vizsla is the one in the Mandalorian. But yeah, Pre Vizsla finds like the 2 brothers. He's like, oh, I can work with these guys.
I can fix that for you. You can say Pre Vizsla is the earlier one because Pre is before.
Well, he's not. The earliest one was the old Jedi one, who is like Pre Vizsla's ancestor.
But between Pre and Pa.
Yeah.
You can be, Pre means before, so that one comes first in the chronological order.
Okay. So, yeah, out of the 2 that Jon Favreau voices, Pre is the first. Okay, cool. The other one should be post-Vizsla.
Yeah, it should, honestly. It'd be so much easier.
Okay, but Pre-Vizsla, yeah, head of Death Watch, he finds the 2 brothers, and so he's like, okay, I'm going to build these really good legs for Maul, and then I'm going to build, like, this kind of shitty robot arm for someone. Somehow he knew, like, okay, this guy is the one in charge. This is the main one.
Probably because he wasn't missing an arm.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we should mention that Savage got his arm cut off by Obi-Wan Kenobi. So he loves slicing these dudes up.
I know. We should start a tally for how many appendages Obi-Wan is sliced.
So yeah, and then I guess Maul and Savage, they really got it in it that they really have it in their heads they want to be crime lords. So they go
Sith crime lords.
But I mean, if you are going to build up,
establish an army,
right? Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, well, I'll just go take I'll take over other people's forces. So that they do that, and then they think that they have enough that they can come claim Mandalore, because that's Pre Vizsla's whole thing. Is like, modern Mandalorians are bitch-made and pacifist wussies, and they need to be badass warriors like we used to be. So, the next episode, Shade of Reason.
Maul's alliance helps the Death Watch and their leader, Pre Vizsla, conquer Mandalore and imprison Duchess Satine. But Vizsla's ambitions surface, and he betrays Maul, who later challenges him to a duel. After killing Vizsla, Maul assumes control over a majority of the Death Watch.
And the moral is, alliances can stall true intentions.
That was a good moral for that episode. It's like,
but yeah,
all these alliances.
When Maul kills Vizsla, he's like, okay, I'm in charge now. And then like half of Death Watch is like, I guess he's in charge. And then the other half is like, fuck you, we are racist against this non-Mandalorian Zabrak asshole taking over. We'll never follow a fool with horns on his head. Fuck that. And they jet out of there with Bo-Katan. I don't know if it was an anti-Zabrak thing, like I said, but
I think it's more of like a true to Mandalore thing.
Yeah, he's a foreigner.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to follow this
outsider. She says, I won't rule Mandalore if it's not ruled by a Mandalorian or something like that. Bo says that before she leaves.
Yeah. So instead, Maul gets the old Prime Minister, Almec. He went to prison because he brought in the black market. And then Maul brings him out, and he's like, okay, well, you'll rule publicly, but I'll rule in reality.
Yeah.
And we should say that, like, Pre-Vizsla took over because like he sent all the criminals like y'all just go like raise hell, and then like me and my Mandos will show up. I'll like defeat Savage Opress in public.
Right.
So
like all these pretend skirmishes that are affecting Mandalorians, and they're just like fixing their own problem. I feel like this is actually a very common thing.
It is, yeah. I want to get into that a little bit more, yeah. But then with Vizsla dead, Maul comes to this arrangement with Almec, where Almec will be the public face of the Maul regime ruling Mandalore from the shadows. But, you know, of course, like, this makes big waves, and, you know, it gets back to the Jedi, it gets back to Palpatine himself. Let's talk about what happens in Season 5, Episode 16, The Lawless.
Maul proceeds to lure Obi-Wan Kenobi to Mandalore with news of Satine's capture. Obi-Wan infiltrates Mandalore but ends up captured himself. Maul murders Satine, but Obi-Wan is rescued by Bo-Katan, who is revealed to be Satine's sister, and her Death Watch faction, who trigger a civil war against Maul. Meanwhile, the takeover captures the attention of Darth Sidious, Maul's former master, who travels to Mandalore to deal with the rogue Sith brothers. Seeing Maul as a rival, he duels Maul and Opress, which leads to Opress's death at the hands of Sidious. Maul, however, is spared, but only because Sidious has plans for him. The episode ends as Maul is continuously tortured by Sidious using Force Lightning.
And the moral is, morality separates heroes from villains. I don't know, that's kind of like an obvious thing, right?
Yeah. Interesting. This episode is so good and sad and terrible and exciting. Like, I cried. This is probably the first time that the Clone Wars has, like, really made me cry. But, like, the way that there was, like, hope in the beginning of this episode with their almost escape. And then, like, Satine's, like, captured and literally killed right in front of Obi-Wan. Like, I cried.
I probably cry a lot watching this show, but I don't think it's never made me, like, sob, like, ugly cry.
Yeah.
But
this one made me pretty teary.
Yeah. But the part that I hate about that is, like, Obi-Wan doesn't have, like, that hateful, vengeful gene. It's not in his DNA. Like, whatever... I've known people like this in real life, that, like, they don't have any hatred in their heart. I'm kind of envious of them because, like, there's a lot of stuff that, like, I spend a lot of energy being mad and I guess, like, hateful towards a lot of, like, shitty people out there. But, like, I've known people that, like, they're just, like, they're not capable of, like, having that deep resentment, you know? It's like they've transcended that. And, like, Obi-Wan, yeah, he is kind of above that. And Maul just wants to hurt this guy so much. He's like, I want to cause this guy as much pain as he's caused me. I'll just kill these people that mean a lot to him. This Duchess who loves him, I'll just, like, stab her in front of him and make him, like, watch her die. But it's like, he's never gonna get, like, that same reaction from Obi-Wan. He's never gonna break Obi-Wan.
Right.
Like, I feel like from Obi-Wan's perspective, he just sees it as just, like, it's just, like, this big tragedy. It's just, like...
Yeah, for sure.
What a waste of a life form to just be, like, this, like, constant mess. Just all you can do is, like, go around and fuck everything up for everyone else. And it would almost be, like, despite, like, Maul just, like, killing, like, what could have been, maybe what should have been the love of his life. Like, the same guy, like, killed, like, his father figure, like Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah. Like, no one has caused him more pain and heartbreak. But, like, at the end of the day, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi's never gonna, like, break down and hate him back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, even, geez, like, just to flash forward to Rebels, like, Obi-Wan kills this guy and then, like, comforts him as he dies.
Yeah,
like,
such a good scene.
It's like, in that moment, like, maybe Maul realizes, like...
He was never gonna win.
Yeah,
like, he would never get the reaction he
like,
wants.
he's, like, probably, maybe he accepts his... That's just, like, the lot of Maul. Like, he's just constantly gonna lose. He can only lose. He can never win.
I was singing that song the other day about him. I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Yeah, he keeps trying. It is fun to see Sidious come spank these boys. I don't know.
Oh,
I always,
that was really funny.
when I rewatch Clone Wars, this is one of the moments I really look forward to. Because I never just like toss on the episode just to watch it by itself. It's like, no, I gotta watch like the whole thing in order to get up to it. But it always feels like such like a big payoff. Because it just reminds you like, oh yeah, this guy could have grabbed his 2 lightsabers and resolved like any battle. If he actually cared about winning any of these battles. And that's something that used to kind of annoy me about the Clone Wars. It's like, well, how can these clones, like, how can I, like, root for these clones to go win this pointless victory? They don't actually, like, win anything. Like, at the end of the day, all they're doing is just helping Palpatine grab on to, like, more power and more authority. And that was kind of, like, their entire point. And this whole war was, like, pointless and just, I don't know, I guess it's like it's actually, now that I look at it as, like, an example of, a lot of wars are fought for pretty pointless reasons in real life, so... it's like Palpatine's like, I gotta distract from the Epstein files. Let's go to war with the Separatists. You know, let's like they're gonna fight me back. This is awesome. Okay, cool. But that action scene though, it does like make it very clear. Like any of these big battles, like the Separatists are giving the Republic a hard time here on this planet. You know, we've been fighting on Felucia forever. The Separatists have restarted the droid factories on Geonosis. If any of this stuff like really mattered to him, he would just like go over there in his ship, whip out his 2 lightsabers, and take care of it in like 30 minutes.
I think this was this the first Sidious battle that we've seen chronologically?
It is like. The only thing we've seen of, like, Palpatine being Sidious in this show is just, like, he's, like, talking through hologram to Dooku, you know, telling him, or, like, one time, like, he's even, like, talking to Ventress. He's, like, talking to Ventress and Dooku at the same time.
Yeah, but I think this is the first time we see him with lightsabers.
Yeah,
and
it's the only time, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only other time we see him with sabers is in Revenge of the Sith, right? And then... So he doesn't use 2 at the same time in that movie, but he loses one in the fight with Mace Windu. But then he has another one later when he's fighting Yoda. But because he loses one out the window, and then he's just like laying there defenseless on the floor in front of Anakin. Like, please help me. I'm just a defenseless old man.
Yeah.
Who's also like shooting lightning out of his hands. I'm just looking at my notes. The crime figures that show up, there's a lot of like cool characters in that. The the Hutts show up and bend the knee. The show is showing the Hutts a lot. But Black Sun, that's kind of a deep cut to a book in the 90s that was like a really big deal, Shadow of the Empire. But like before they were doing prequel movies, Lucasfilm got bored in the 90s. They were like, hey, what if we made like a new video game for like a movie that doesn't exist, and like wrote like the novelization adaptation of a movie that doesn't exist, and like we could make like a toy line. They're basically like, we want to do all of the marketing things we would do for like a new movie, but like without a movie. So they created the story Shadow of the Empire that takes place in between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So, like, Han Solo is not in it. He's, like, frozen in carbonite. But you see, like, Luke and Leia do stuff. And it follows this new character they created, Dash Rendar. Sorry, my screen was doing some weird stuff there. Kind of threw me off. But, oh, sorry. I'll let Taylor work on that. But these... Black Sun guys and their crime syndicate, they're actually creations of Shadows of the Empire. So it was cool to see them. And then like the Pikes, they're gonna show up a lot, but like they run like the spice mines of Kessel, like the Pikes with like the weird heads, and we see them in like the Book of Boba Fett and stuff. It's kind of funny to me, like they just like they show up when Maul and Savage are taking over like Black Sun and the Hutts and like all these other crime groups, and then like because the Pikes, you got it, like they're like the drug dealers. They're like, well, we're shipping out the spice to so they're used to just like, you know, this is like a commercial relationship. We're gonna work we're gonna work with whoever's in power.
Right.
So they're very friendly. Like, oh,
yeah,
Maul,
they come
Maul
over. They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
anyways, we heard that you're taking over all the syndicates. Here we're turn ourselves over.
Yeah. We're more than happy
even...
to work with you. Yeah. So we're easy to work with. Yeah. And we'll see more of them in Rebels. I think in like the first episode they're doing spice mine stuff. And like in season 7 of Clone Wars too, I believe. And the fight between Pre Vizsla and Maul, that was one of like the most epic lightsaber duels. It's only like 3 minutes long, but it feels like it's 20 minutes long.
I think it has really good animation.
Yeah.
Like, it was very
and
smooth.
choreography, yeah.
Yeah, it was smooth.
And it's in this beautiful environment with, like, these, like, big murals and stuff.
And glass and light.
Here's some art history, but they actually based the mural, the Mandalorian mural. It's on a Pablo Picasso piece, Massacre in Korea.
Oh, okay.
That I guess he made as, like, a statement against... Americans in Korea, in like the Korean War. I just thought you would appreciate that as
nice.
You're the art history person out of the two of us, so.
Well, thanks for looking that up and sharing it with me.
And you were saying like that episode, The Lawless, I guess it is so sad with the death of Satine, but you also like the episode makes it look like Obi-Wan is going to rescue her.
Yeah.
Like they have like this very suspenseful escape sequence. He's wearing his what was his name? Hardeen,
when he first
the criminal there. He went undercover as. He's wearing like his undercover outfit from a few episodes ago. And he also is flying around on the Twilight.
Yeah, he's low budget because he's on his own. He's doing this against the Council's wishes.
Right. So Anakin gives him his ship, the Twilight.
It's like blowing up as he's landing.
But Obi-Wan hates piloting. He hates space travel. He hates all of that stuff. So, which I like that because, like, you know, Anakin and Luke, they're like the badass pilots. You can't make like every Jedi a badass pilot.
Right.
Or then it's not unique to the two of them. But the reveal that Bo-Katan and Satine are sisters also comes out in all of that.
Yeah, I think she actually finds out through Obi-Wan that her sister is dead. Like, I don't think she knew for sure before. Like, I don't know if Maul had, like, announced.
Oh, that the Duchess was dead. Yeah.
I think that she found out from Obi-Wan that she had died.
And the nephew, we don't know who that nephew belongs to. We were talking about that, like, previously. Like, oh, is Satine's nephew? Is that can't be Bo-Katan's kid. But, like, he shows up here. But, yeah, they don't seem mother and son, so...
They're really close in age, I think.
Yeah, he was like, oh, Satine is my cool aunt that I'm close to, but Bo-Katan's, like, the weird aunt. She's like, oh, like, she has, like, very, like, weird Death Watchy politics. Right. Like, we don't talk to her. Like, don't get her started, or she'll talk about, like, make Mandalore great again. Like, yeah, we leave that aunt alone. We leave Auntie Bo alone. Auntie Satine cool.
Yeah.
But then he loses his cool aunt here. So, I don't know. I'm curious does that kid, does that kind of radicalize him to be, he's going to continue, like, his pacifist aunt's morals, or does it like turn? He's like, oh, I guess we needed to be more. I guess Bo-Katan was right all along. I'm gonna get a jetpack too. I'm gonna get a jetpack and a helmet and be a badass Mandalorian. But I guess these episodes are also very foundational to Bo-Katan's story, which will go on to be a big deal that we see in
season 7.
Yeah, and also like she shows up in. Is she in Rebels? I know, like, they do a lot of Mandalorian stuff. Bo-Katan's in Rebels, okay.
Now I'm doubting myself, but yeah.
I know she's not. She doesn't have like a big part, but she at least gets mentioned. Because I think we've actually now I want to go back and see if we can find Sabine's mom. Because in these episodes, because I think she's actually supposed to be like a character here who is on Bo-Katan's side.
Okay.
Is Sabine Wren's mom.
Okay.
Because they talk about like House Wren is like another like big deal connected to Death Watch. But yeah, and I guess the Mandalorian stuff also is like the Mandalorian show, but like Rebels has a Mando character as part of their crew, and so yeah, like a lot of this stuff, I guess it'll come up more in season 7 of the show. you can really see in season 5 they had figured out how they were going to end Clone Wars, and they're setting up Mandalore for the big Ahsoka stuff. They're setting up Ahsoka and Maul, like they're getting all their pieces in place
and
now.
And the clone stuff.
And the clone stuff.
And where Ahsoka is, because
Well, let's talk about Ahsoka. So the next 4 episodes are the end of her time as a member of the Jedi Order. So let's discuss season 5 episodes 17 through 20, starting with season 5 episode 17, Sabotage.
After Ahsoka manages to rescue Anakin from certain peril on Cato Nemoidia, the two are called back to Coruscant from the front lines to investigate a terrorist bombing at the Jedi Temple. And the moral is...
sometimes even the smallest doubt can shake the greatest belief. And they have to do this this investigation for some terrorist blew up the Jedi. It was like the hangar bay, the Jedi, where their ships take off
what
from.
What I thought was weird about this was, I was like, why would they make Anakin and Ahsoka go and do this investigation? And then they answered that later in the episode by saying they were the only 2 Jedi off planet. And I was like, how is that even possible? There's so many battles going on everywhere. Shaak Ti is probably a Camino. What do you mean?
I guess they just had we're having our big annual war meeting that everyone's required to come to. It just happened. And Ahsoka and Anakin were gonna show up late because they're them. Yeah, it's very plot convenience, isn't it? What happens in season 5, episode 18, The Jedi Who Knew Too Much?
Ahsoka Tano goes to the cell of Letta Termund, the key suspect in the bombing, to question her, but Letta is force-strangled to death by an unidentified assassin. Ahsoka is framed and detained by Admiral Tarkin. Despite Anakin's best efforts to exonerate her, she is forced to escape the military prison where she is incarcerated and flee into the Coruscant underworld to find the actual perpetrator and prove her innocence.
And the moral of the episode is, courage begins by trusting oneself. But yeah, it's Ahsoka is being framed. She's being set up for not just the bombing, but also it's kind of funny. I mean, it's not funny, but if you did mute the camera audio and you just have the video footage of this woman being levitated and force choked, and Ahsoka with her hands up, oh my god, what's going on? Letta, I want to help you. I don't know who's choking you. And it does look like she's the one doing it.
Yeah.
And Tarkin gets a lot of screen time in this arc. He's Admiral Tarkin now. We know eventually he'll become Grand Moff, but he started off as Captain Tarkin in the Citadel arc, and now he's moved up from Captain to Admiral. So he's working his way up in what will be the Empire, and including putting Ahsoka on trial for this bombing. And I guess episode 19, To Catch a Jedi, that's when she's on the run in the underworld. She goes down that circle pit thing they have on Coruscant. So what happens in To Catch a Jedi?
While on the run in the Coruscant underworld, pursued by Republic authorities, Ahsoka makes a deal with Asajj Ventress to find out who the actual murderer of Letta Termund really is. She talks to Barriss Offee to find out where the weapons used in the bombing of the temple are located. When the pair go their separate ways, Ventress is knocked unconscious by a mysterious but force-sensitive figure who takes her lightsabers and duels Ahsoka, who believes the unknown person is Ventress. While the unknown assailant escapes, Ahsoka is captured and escorted back up to the surface.
And the moral is, never become desperate enough to trust the untrustworthy. Who's the untrustworthy in that? Because Asajj... but Barriss would have been trustworthy to her. We should say that the actual bomber is Barriss Offee.
Oh, sorry.
The Jedi apprentice of Luminar. Well, it's revealed in the next episode. I was just curious, Ventress is trustworthy. She doesn't do anything dishonest. I mean, she's probably wanted for war crimes in the Republic, but she seems to think she can just collect this bounty on Ahsoka. Whenever she sees a bounty for someone she knows, like Savage Opress, like, oh, I know that guy, I'm gonna collect that bounty. Ahsoka Tano, like, oh, Skywalker's brat, I'm on it. So she gets gung ho if it's like a past foe. But yeah, this is part of Ventress's face turn, as they say in the wrestling world. But her going from a bad guy to a good guy. Then the last episode of the arc and of season 5, The Wrong Jedi.
The prosecution of Ahsoka begins in the High Courts after the Jedi Council expels her from the Jedi Order. As Padme fights to prove Ahsoka's innocence, Anakin finds Ventress in the Coruscant underworld and reveals that Ahsoka had spoken to Barriss Offee while she and Ventress were still together. But back at the Jedi Temple, Anakin confronts Barriss, leading to a duel that reveals that she was the true culprit behind the crimes. Before Ahsoka can be sentenced, Anakin arrives with Barriss, who makes a speech denouncing the Jedi. Despite being cleared of all charges, Ahsoka is disillusioned by the turn of events and leaves the Jedi Order.
Yeah, she's disillusioned as hell. The moral is never give up hope, no matter how dark things seem. Yeah, I guess that was a very dark and sad and potentially, I guess, maybe feeling kind of hopeless episode. The Wrong Jedi. A lot of people probably at the time were wondering, like, is this the last episode of Clone Wars we're ever going to see? And it was the last one to air on Cartoon Network. So I guess of all of the last episodes of the Clone Wars... See, to me, I feel like it's like a show that's ended 3 times. And this is the first time I thought the Clone Wars had ended. I didn't watch this, but I heard, like, they had, like, Anakin's Padawan, she ends up, like, leaving the Jedi Order, and that's what I was like, oh, that's why she's not in Revenge of the Sith. Okay, got it. Well, I'm glad they finally explained that before Disney bought Lucasfilm and canceled the show. But that would have been a hell of an ending. That is kind of sad. But I mean, like, if you're building up to Revenge of the Sith, which is going to be like the rise of the Empire, there's no way to end the show without it being kind of sad, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, so this 4-episode arc, Sabotage, The Jedi Who Knew Too Much, To Catch a Jedi, and The Wrong Jedi, these are all names referencing Alfred Hitchcock's work. Like, you were saying, like... To
Catch a Thief was the one I recognized.
Right.
Yeah.
There's The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
And there actually was a Hitchcock movie called Sabotage.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen it, but we should do like a Hitchcock focus, because it's probably something that I've always felt like I needed to brush up on more of his movies, and you probably haven't seen any of them.
I don't think so.
So, but yeah, maybe we'll do in 20 or 30 years from now we'll have like the Hitchcock podcast.
No, no more.
But of these 4 episodes, this is one of my favorite arcs of the series. You really, because I think a big part of that though is because it feels more like Star Wars to me when it's stormtroopers chasing the Jedi, and they make it look very Imperial, like a lot of the structures in Coruscant that Ahsoka is like running from these clone troopers, running from Anakin, running from Tarkin. It's basically like Tarkin and Vader and a bunch of stormtroopers are chasing a Jedi.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to feel sorry for her, because I understand why, like, she's like, oh, I guess this key laid out here, that seems like a very Anakin thing to do. I can pick up on that. I can pick up what you're laying down, Master. I can free myself from here. And then it was all just Barriss trying to
like entrap her,
dog walk her into being this criminal.
Walk into this place where it looks like you cut down 4 clones.
But she's like, she wants to make sure like Ahsoka gets caught.
Right,
so
right. In the fake.
She kind of like dog walks her to like, oh, I'm gonna make you like look guilty as hell, like every step of the.
Yeah, she's well framed in this.
Well, what else?
Sorry. I really liked the Ventress stuff in this. I know we already talked about her a little bit, but I wanted to say it kind of reminds me of like Zuko's redemption arc. Like they both have a slow
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, like a slow return. So I was thinking about that and how they have some similar writers on the shows.
And on next week's I'm not next week, but the next other Star franchise stream we're going to do, I want to talk about the novel Dark Disciple, because that continues Ventress's bounty hunter arc that she's on here. One thing that you pointed out, though, was like the switcheroo when Barriss knocks out Ventress and then dresses up as her and then has a lightsaber duel with Ahsoka. And then Ventress never gets her lightsabers back after that, which sucks. Barriss, that was a dick move to like steal this girl's lightsabers.
Literally her life work now that she's a bounty hunter.
You pointed out that it was odd that Ahsoka couldn't like sense in the Force that like this is not Ventress, this is someone else.
This is obviously Barriss Ahsoka. Like, use your Force Spidey senses.
It's also kind of silly because like she was talking to her on the holo phone earlier.
Yeah.
And Barriss is like wearing like the exact same outfit but without Ventress's helmet.
Yeah.
And Ventress has never worn this helmet before in this entire show. Ventress has never worn this. She wore it like right here just to lose it to Barriss.
Yeah. Oh my.
And she never wears it again after this. Well,
yeah, but I always think that's like really plot convenience deciding. Like, I want to know like if people are Force sensitive, can they always like it can't be pick and choose. Like, it can't be like, oh, this person's extra sneaky, so the Jedi didn't notice. Like,
yeah,
it's just weird to pick and choose when they can sense something and when they can't.
Yeah, I feel like prequel Jedi were always like very inconsistent with their powers. It's like sometimes you can sneak up on them and sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
Well, the anti-war protesters in Sabotage, the first episode of this arc, well, that was like interesting. That's a lot of like Bush administration, like Iraq War protest, I think, is what Lucas and company were channeling with that. I know like George Lucas has like in interviews compared like Palpatine and his war to like the Bush Cheney administration. He also like brings up Nixon a lot, but it's interesting because these episodes were being made and like. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, when were they writing these? So, like, they were probably, like, writing these episodes in, like, first term Obama, but they were still everyone's still thinking about, like, you know, war in Iraq,
right.
Because, like, you know, we still had people over there. So, I guess, like, the idea of, like, the everyday citizens in the Empire, or in the Republic, and they would be like, why isn't my life getting better? You have all this money for clones. You have money for clones, but not for, like, school kids. Instead of you know, the Tupac line, money for war, but not to feed the poor. Like, money for clones, but not clothes on my bones. I don't know.
Wow.
But I thought it was funny when they had, like, the circle with the line through it, like the marked out logo over a clone helmet. It's like the anti-war protest.
Yeah.
It's like... And then I guess if you translate what some of the protest signs said, that was things like... stop cloning violence.
Not bad.
But I guess I just want to comment on how great the escape sequence is in the Jedi Who Knew Too Much when Ahsoka is like fleeing from Anakin, and it's they bring in like Plo Koon and the Wolf Pack. It's actually Wolf who stuns her, who captures her. So. I wonder, you know, they're both going to end up around in the time of the rebellion together. I wonder if they ever bring that up. Like, remember that time you stunned me and turned me over to Tarkin? Like, as they're resisting the Empire. And Anakin talking to Ahsoka in the drain tunnel. I told you, it's like that movie The Fugitive with Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford. I know you haven't seen it, but I was telling you, like, Harrison Ford is a wanted man who they think he killed his wife, but he didn't. And like Tommy Lee Jones is like this U.S. Marshal leading the manhunt to find him. It's a very iconic movie. It's like the scene everyone knows from it.
Okay.
Is when they're talking in like the tunnel. But yeah, and then I don't know, just like the sad ending of Ahsoka like walking away from the Jedi Order.
I'm so proud of her for doing this though. Like whenever she's cleared and is talking to the council and they're like, this was just a test from the Force.
Yeah, they were so shitty.
Oh, such fucking assholes. They should have apologized profusely.
Okay, so and Mace Windu is such a dick in all of this. I want to get up and start pacing around because I just remembered something. Well, okay. Tarkin being this dick is like, we don't want the Jedi to try their own. We don't want them to put Ahsoka Tano on a trial because we want her to be tried by the government, right, by like Republic justice, not Jedi justice. Mm-hmm. So I guess like Jedi have some type of like Jedi immunity where like the Jedi have like their own court system and take care of that internally. Mm-hmm. This is an agreement they have with the Republic. So to make all the rules work where Tarkin can try Ahsoka, she has to be expelled from the Jedi Order. And he comes up with like this like legal plan of like how to do it, how to get her in his courtroom. And then the Jedi just like agree to it. They're like, okay, yeah, I guess we'll have to do it. It's like the war has made us compromise so many of our values. What's another one? You know, just shoot that out the airlock too. So they turn their back on this poor girl who, like, I've been pointing out as we were watching the Clone Wars, she's been like an ideal Jedi consistently. We see her working with all these other Jedi, and she learns skills from all of these experts, and then like she just has become such like a well-rounded Jedi Knight. Like and just like her like choosing not to pursue Lux and just like letting him go, and like, you know, that's kind of like that mature. Honestly, like, being more of a mature Jedi, more dedicated Jedi than Anakin. Like, Anakin couldn't handle that. Yeah. Like, that little, like, soft-ass boy Anakin. like he could, like, Ahsoka's made of sterner stuff. Yeah. You know, like, she had, like, a better childhood than he did. Maybe, like she didn't have to watch her mom get gang-raped by sand people. But, regardless, like, she had done everything right to be, like, the perfect... And how, like, unfair it is that she's having to do all of her Jedi apprenticeship in the middle of a fucking war and being a child soldier. Sorry. But, like, it's so aggravating that they just cast her away. And then they have the audacity at the end to be like, well, like, I guess this was just, like, a great trial for you. Like, you're... Sure is great that you were able to pass this hard trial life threw at you.
It's like, just goddamn say you were wrong.
Yeah,
Jesus.
But this is the same guy who like couldn't apologize to Boba Fett about killing his dad. When Boba Fett is like, I can never forgive you for killing my dad, and he's like, well, tough shit. You're gonna have to anyways. You're going to Republic prison. I apologize for nothing. Why would I apologize? I'm the top Jedi.
But that makes me so proud that Ahsoka walked away from that.
Yes.
This was like the first example for her, and she was like, never again. You know what I mean? Like usually some people have to see like the same thing happen over and over before they're like, I'm calling it later. Like they can't take it anymore. But she saw it once.
Like she got out.
Like, hell no.
You're saying she got out of an abusive relationship, like at the
first date.
Yeah, like the very first off ramp.
Yes, like, the very first.
Like she saw like the first red flag, and then
she was like, no more flags allowed. After
nearest
this.
Exit. Yeah. Okay, got it. But the other thing about like Mace Windu is he didn't even want Anakin to go on the manhunt to find Ahsoka. Like he was like, "We'll send Plo Koon."
It was like the second was connected.
But Anakin is like, I really need to be the one, like, sir. And like Obi-Wan is like, yeah, like we can trust Anakin. Like he's a good Jedi. He really cares about Ahsoka. Like let him go. Yeah. And Mace Windu is like, man, like I hate this kid. I'm gonna let him because it's like Anakin's entire life. I remember in The Phantom Menace, it's like all coming back to me, but Mace Windu has been nothing but a fucking asshole to Anakin. Because in The Phantom Menace, like I remember Samuel L. Jackson like looking Liam Neeson in the face and saying to Qui-Gon Jinn, like when Qui-Gon asked, so the boy's going to be trained? And then Samuel L. Jackson says like, no, he's not going to be trained. He's too old. Like And then here, it was like Anakin's like, let me go look for her. And then he's like, no, you can't. And then, like, we know in Revenge of the Sith, that's like a big point of tension when Anakin gets appointed to the Jedi Council, but not because the Jedi picked him because like Palpatine's like, I'm going to start appointing who's on the Jedi Council, but like they wouldn't grant him the rank of master, and like that was the thing. Like Samuel, like Mace Windu was like no, you're not going to be a master, and like Anakin is so pissy about that. But then, okay, so more to that here, like, Ahsoka is ready for the trials. Like, I think that might have been what they were, like, offering to her when they were like, I guess this was your great trial. Like, they were basically saying, like, we shouldn't have expelled you. If you come back, we're going to reward you by giving you your knighthood. We're going to make you a Jedi Knight. And had they done that, then Anakin becomes a master. Because that's like the...
If Force pushes him up.
Yeah, because when you graduate from being a Padawan, you become a knight. You stay a knight until you have trained. You have to successfully train another Padawan, and then after you do that, then you rank up to master, and then you're eligible to be on the Jedi Council. And if Windu hadn't been like a dick to Ahsoka and pushed her out of the order here, Anakin would have been a master.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like, you think about like that moment in Revenge of the Sith that I was just talking about earlier when Mace Windu and Palpatine are fighting each other in the window, and they're both like asking Anakin like, I need you to help me. And they're like, no, I need you to help me, not him.
Yeah.
And Anakin chooses Palpatine.
He said no.
Like, this guy has been nice to me the whole time, and you've been a dick.
Yeah.
It's like
giving him that same
like
no
every scene. Go back and watch all of this and pay attention to every scene between Mace Windu and Anakin, and then compare that between every scene of Palpatine and Anakin.
For real.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad we covered that. Okay, I'm glad I got that out my system. The final arc we're going to talk about, big Palpatine stuff in this too. The Order 66 conspiracy arc. We have now crossed over into what we used to call the Lost Mission episodes, or like the final season on Netflix episodes. But these 4 episodes, season 6 episodes 1 through 4. What happens in season 6 episode 1, The Unknown?
Clone Trooper Tup is suffering from a severe neurological disorder that causes him to shoot a Jedi Master dead. Trying to find the motives for the murder, the Republic escorts Tup back to Kamino for examination, but then they are attacked by the Separatists who capture them. Anakin, Captain Rex, and ARC Trooper 5s rescue Tup and take him to Kamino safely.
And the moral is, the truth about yourself is always the hardest to accept. I guess the truth about ourselves we have to accept is we all have these chips in our brains. They're going to make us betray the Jedi. But yeah, then that brings us to season 6, episode 2, Conspiracy.
Tup is undergoing a medical examination in the sterile laboratories of Kamino to find the motives for his shocking attack on the Jedi Master. For the examination to succeed, 5s must enter the depth of Tup's mind, where he finds a secret code manipulation in the cloning program of the Republic. The inhibitor chip is successfully removed, but Tup dies shortly after. And
the moral is, the wise benefit from a second opinion. And that's like, I guess that's advice to get a second opinion, like from your doctor, I guess. There's like a lot of medical stuff in here. But yeah, it's... They mentioned that Tup and 5s are best friends, and it's cool that like we see them serve together in the Umbara arc, and like that, that was like some serious shit that they went through in the Umbara arc. So it's very emotional when like when like you get like the baton passed from like 5s, from Tup to 5s when Tup dies, and then like later that kind of continues to Rex.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 5s is now like on like this mission to figure out like what happened to my best friend, and it's a cool premise because he's also like this like ARC trooper. He's like the special ops like Delta Force guy who would be a pretty formidable one-man force like whatever he's trying to do. So it's just kind of a fun idea. Turn him loose on the inside of Kamino. What happens in season 6 episode 3, Fugitive?
Tup is transported back to Coruscant, where his body is to be examined by the Chancellor's personal physician. 5s is also investigating the matter and discovers that a modified code has been hidden in the minds of all of the clones.
And the moral is, when in doubt, go to the source. Well, I guess they go to the source of all of this with Palpatine. But that's cool that they have that conversation between Fives and Palpatine that the audience doesn't see. But I'm always like real curious about like what exactly went down in that room. But the fun thing I kept thinking about watching these episodes is how nervous like Palpatine and like his staff, like that the Blue Devil man. His name it's very similar to Maz Kanata in The Force. It's I'll have to look it up, but it's very similar to that. But anyways, like I just assume he is freaking out. He's like talking to the Umbara lady, who's like the other like Palpatine aide that we see in the movies. He's like, oh my god, we're all going to go to prison. They're going to figure out like all of this, that we engineered this entire war, that like we were making the clones to eventually betray the Jedi. Like
this is like Palpatine is Meryl Streep and the Devil Wears Prada, and all of his like little minions are like panic doing the things that he's asking that are insane. Oh man.
But the Order 66 stuff, like it got exposed when Tup malfunctioned and started killing the Jedi early. So
whoops.
So that freaks out Dooku and Palpatine. And it's cool. You see like the news go up the chain of command they bring back the Spider Admiral Taranch. Like, I just now figure out like his name is like Tarantula.
Oh.
But
original Star Wars name.
But it looked like he blew up before, but he somehow survived the explosion, but he's like half cyborg now. But it's just, I like that they don't explain it. It's like the fact that he's half cyborg is the explanation, just very visual.
Just go with it, guys.
Yeah. And I thought he kind of looked like the bad guy Frieza in Dragon Ball Z. It's like the same thing happens. Like you think like Frieza blows up on this planet, but like he shows up on Earth later and he's half robot. But the Tarantula guy calls Dooku and is like, the craziest thing happened. This clone just like walked up to the Jedi and shot her in the head. And it was like, then like all the other clones are freaking out and they're like, what the hell? Like they're about to beat me in the battle. And then like that happened and they just retreated. It was really weird. And so Dooku like hears that and he's like, oh shit, like this is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And you see Dooku on the holo call with the Kaminoans, but he always appears to them as
Lord Tyrannus.
Lord Tyrannus, yeah. So he just puts his hood. It cracks me up when I'm watching it because the show plays it so serious, you know. It's supposed to be like very scary when like the big hologram of Dooku with his hooded face is on screen. But it's just like Tyrannus is just Dooku with like a hood over his head. But like this guy who would be like all over the news, like in Attack of the Clones, they make a big deal, like this very famous Count Dooku, former Jedi, leading the separatist movement, you know, kind of a big deal. But he just put like a hood over his head and tell these Kaminoans, like, I'm a Jedi named Tyrannus, and I work with Sifo Dyas, and we're buying this clone army. But it was also fun kind of seeing things in these episodes from Nala Se, is that how you say her name? The Kaminoan?
Nala Sue, I think.
How is it?
Nala Sue.
Nala Sue? I think it's Nala Se. But anyways, one of us is right, I'm sure. But this long-necked fool who engineered the clones from the very beginning, and I guess we see her in Attack of the Clones, like her. The other guy is like the Kaminoan Prime Minister. But it's like they have been well paid for like this entire Clone War endeavor, and for like all the time before this, when this clone army was ordered around the time of the Phantom Menace. I mean, it was like Dooku and Palpatine working together. We talked about some of that stuff with like Tales of the Jedi and stuff. But I used to always think of these Kaminoans, but like, man, they're just like some of the earliest Imperial collaborators. It's just like they're like in on Palpatine's Order 66 thing, and they're just betraying these clones that they're creating and setting them up for to betray the Jedi. But now that I've seen the Bad Batch and I know that she actually has like some redeeming qualities, Nala Sue, whatever, but like, you know, she came through for Omega in that show. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking like, it actually is easier to see things from her point of view, why she's being so shady and covering things up, because she thinks that her original clients that are giving her planet all this money, she thinks that they needed Order 66 as a failsafe against rogue Jedi. And part of the things that they're paying her to do is to make sure that the clones have this Order 66 ability, but also it has to be so super top secret because no Jedi can know about it. Even though, and like the way that like she's probably thinking about it is like, oh yeah, like Shakti, whatever her name is. Mm-hmm. Like, she's thinking like, oh, she'd probably be a cool Jedi, but like, you know, there's also like crazy Jedi, like Krell, and you know, like this Dooku guy, like you know, Tyrannus is trying to make sure that I'm on the lookout for like the next Dooku. Yeah. Like in case any of these Jedi go rogue, we're gonna have to need clones who can take them down if we need them to. So, but yeah, she is trying to cover up all of this stuff that Fives and his droid are trying to unearth. What's the droid's name? Like AZ? Mm-hmm. But I love their kind of like buddy adventure that they go on.
Yeah.
Even though it looks so fucking ridiculous when he's like, he turns the droid to a jet ski and like rides on him across the ocean of Camino. But yeah, it's like, oh, Star Wars can be very serious, but then it has to do something goofy to remind you like, hey, we also have Jar Jar and Ewoks. Like the silly shit happens here too. But so in the Coruscant, I guess, so yeah, we do like 2 episodes on Camino and then like 2 episodes on Coruscant, kind of is how it works out, right? Because it's in a Fugitive is when they go to Coruscant, and let's talk about so after he's on the run from after the conversation with Palpatine, what happens in Season 6, Episode 4?
In an effort to find more answers about Tup's actions, Fives attempts to speak with Chancellor Palpatine personally, only to find himself on the run. While unsuccessfully explaining what he learned to Anakin Skywalker and Rex, Fives is shot and killed by Commander Fox.
Oh, I guess it was in Episode 4 when he actually talks to Palpatine. Okay, I might have confused 3 and 4 a little bit there. We watched all of these today, this whole arc today, so it kind of blurred together. But the moral of the episode on orders is the popular belief isn't always the correct one. And yeah, that's true. And I guess the popular belief in this episode is Fives is crazy. But he actually wasn't. He was the correct one. When he's saying like, I don't know how, but Palpatine's involved in this in a big way and for a long time. And he's saying things like that.
It just sucks that Nala Su drugged him before like dropping him off, but
she's thinking like, I gotta keep this all top secret. My client Tyrannus, like this is what they.
But she's just like, oh, like he was so close, but she got to him, like to where it's just like a little ambiguous enough to be like he's crazy, he's hallucinating something, you know.
And then the other thing, like I wonder when we see Palpatine in that closed room with Fives, there's some other what they're called the Corys, is what our friend Kristen had pointed out to us. She's a huge clone fan, a clone head, but a clone enthusiast. But she said all the Coruscant guards are called Corys, and there's some of those, you know, they're the clones with like the red armor. They're also like the guards at the Coruscant prison, like the Supermax prison that Bosk and Boba escaped from. But how do we know those are even like clones? Those could have been like people who like Palpatine personally like like who could be like in on his secret, you know? Because I don't think like the typical clones. I don't know. Maybe there are like maybe some of Palpatine's inner circle who might know more about his bigger plans. I don't know how secretive he is either. Like there's probably, I think only like his 2 aides are probably the only people who know, and Dooku are probably the only people who know he's a Sith Lord. Mm-hmm. But, like, there might be other people who know, like, oh, yeah, like, we're going to betray the Jedi, and, like, we're going to, you know, we're going to do, like, a rebranding from Republic to the Empire, basically.
Yeah.
Like, there might be some inner circle of people that are kind of clued in on that, you know. But I don't know if there'd be any clones in that. Because I kind of like to believe that, like, none of those dudes... But we do see, like, some clones work for the Empire in Bad Batch. But that's also, like, after their chips have activated. So yeah, I don't know. I'd like to believe that, like, all of those Corys were, like, not actual clones. Those weren't brothers. Those were Palpatine's personal guard. Because he has, like, the Crimson Guard from Return of the Jedi, like, those dudes, in, like, the big red capes.
Yeah.
But it's cool we see the clone bar on Coruscant. Like, we get to see, like, so much clone culture with that. And it's funny, because, like, I've watched Clone Wars enough times. You know, it's funny to think, like, man, all these clones, they can just, like, tell each other apart. But, like, when I'm watching it now, and, like, we see a clone, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Kix. Or, like, that's, like I start to pick up on things. But, or, like when Wolf stunned Ahsoka, I was like, oh, like, I never realized before, like, that was Wolf. Like, I don't know the name of the guy who did that. Or, like, here, when Fox, the commander of the Corys, Commander Fox, but, like, I was like, oh, yeah, he's the guy who shoots fives, right? So, and it's also tragic to me. But, especially that when Fives reaches for his blaster and Fox is saying, like, don't do it, soldier. And then he feels like he has to shoot him. But, you know, it's Fox doing his duty. He's like, hey, this brother has gone crazy. Like, if he picks up a weapon, my duty is going to be to put him down.
Yeah.
But then, like, as Fives is dying, he's saying, like, I was just trying to get, like, the truth out there and, like, do my duty, my obligation to everyone to, like, you know, try to, like, warn you. Like they're gonna try to do something bad with these chips in our brains. It's just, like, a really tragic conflict, you know? And it's all engineered by Palpatine, just so he can have more direct control over more planets. Sad. I don't know. Any additional thoughts, Taylor?
No. Sorry, I don't think I'm running out of steam.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess on that note, I'm looking forward to wrapping up the Clone Wars soon. Next time we will probably be talking about the rest of Season 6. And also some of the... we can bring up some of the things like the Darth Maul, son of Dathomir comic. I really want to talk to you about that, Taylor. I want to tell you how Darth Maul escapes from Palpatine. And we see him being force lightninged by Sidious.
Okay, cool.
And then he eventually makes his way back to Mandalore, so we can cover that. But that's going to be it for tonight. So remember, the Empire is for bootlickers. Be a rebel, and may the Force be with you.